Hey, what's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to answer a question that I have received from a couple of you already, and that is, what are my thoughts on gay marriage? Okay, so this is one of those topics that is very controversial. You know, there's a lot of anger over this discussion. Okay, people take things very personally, and I'm going to ask you now, before you even listen to what I'm going to say, to remember that this is only my opinion and my belief. You're entitled to think whatever the fuck you want, but don't take personal what I'm saying. And don't think that because I'm saying this, I have something against you if you happen to be gay. That's not the case. My opinion is based on my own observation, my own understanding, my own thought process, and what I really believe to be the truth. Okay? So with that being said, you know, the way I feel about gay marriage is that there is no such thing as gay marriage. Okay? Marriage as an institution, as it's always been defined, is between a man and a woman. That's what marriage is. It's the joining of a male and a female. Again, by definition. So there is no such thing as a man and a man that can be called marriage, or a woman and a woman that can be called marriage. It's not the same thing. Okay? Now, some of you may say, well, why do you give a fuck? Why do you care what other people are doing? It doesn't have any effect on you. And my answer to that is, it does have a very significant effect on me when society normalizes and accepts behavior that I feel is negative, especially as far as influencing the next generation, the younger ones. Okay? When society says to them, by law, by allowing and enabling gay people to marry by law, they are giving the message that this is something that is okay, this is something that is normal, and this is something that is even an option for you, should you want. To the children, to those that are impressionable. That's the reason I have a problem with it, because it's not okay. It's a negative, and there's no good that will come as far as society as a whole in allowing gay people to marry each other. All right? I have no problem with what you want to do. I personally do have a problem with homosexuality, as it's against my belief. I believe it is sinful. It's not allowed for me. Okay? But I don't have a problem with what people want to do in the privacy of their own homes. Feel free. Do whatever you want. I'm not here to judge you. Your judgment will come later. Not by me. It's always by God. I don't have the power or the right or the authority to judge you in that way. But what I'm saying with regard to the whole gay marriage argument is that there really is no argument. Because what they're asking for, the right for homosexuals to marry each other, does not even fit within the definition of marriage. All right? Because again, it's always been man and woman. And there is benefit that comes from man and woman coming together and marrying and forming a family. There's no benefit that comes from allowing two men to marry each other and live their life legally married. What's the benefit other than to them? There's benefit to them. There's tax incentives to them. But for the rest of us, there's a huge price in normalizing what I believe to be deviant behavior. Now, some people say that the homosexuals are not choosing to be this way. I disagree with that. I don't believe that they're born this way. I don't believe that anyone's born this way. I believe that homosexuality is the result of traumatic childhood experiences. Some of them may not even remember the experiences that caused them to have these type feelings. But in one way or another, something happened to these people where psychologically they have suffered great damage, and as a result now are not operating properly in some way. Okay, they've become defective in some way. But there is still always a choice. And as another example, even I myself can be used in some way to present to you a different type view so you can understand what I'm talking about. I also suffered greatly, a lot of trauma as a young person, okay? The result of that trauma is that in my brain now, to this day, certain things seem right and make sense to me, okay? I feel like they're just an instinctual reaction, but they're not right according to society. They're not right according to God, okay? We could go so far as even to say to some people, murder is natural. Murder is their natural instinct. They feel it's okay. They feel it's justified. For me, I feel bloodshed is very easily justified and should be done. People should have their fucking blood shed much, much more than's happening now. Aside from consequence for criminal actions in the law and prisons and jails, fuck that. Some people need their shit split. Some people need to suffer immediate consequences. But again, I know and I recognize that I am this way as a result of trauma. And this way, even though to me seems right and makes sense, I don't act out those feelings because I understand that as a whole, for myself, for my family, for society, it's not a good thing. It's a negative. Okay? So I'm not one to discriminate, but in this case, I can never support legal gay marriage. I can't support it. I don't even think it makes any sense at all. So do what you want with your lives, but don't try to force society to conform and change something that has been now for thousands of years. For all of our recorded history, marriage has always been that. And that's been understood everywhere in the world. So to try to force that aspect to change, basically you're changing the definition of the word. I could never agree with that. All right? So again, as I said in the beginning, it's going to be a lot of people who disagree with me. All I ask is that you be respectful and remember that this is my opinion that I'm fucking entitled to. And I don't care if the whole world disagrees with me and says I'm wrong, calls me stupid, curses me out, whatever it is. This is my belief and I'm going to stand on it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you next time. Thanks.